way of introduction, my name is Tom Morrow, and I'm the Chief of Police for the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department. And the Town of Poughkeepsie Police Department was the lead law enforcement police agency as part of a joint investigative effort that was conducted in this fire. We will address some of the facts that you know, and we'll highlight other facts that you may not know, and then you can have an opportunity at your discretion to speak to the fire chief, the security representative, the head of safety and security from Marist College is here as well. Members of the Cause and Origin team have joined me. So this collaborative effort that took place between fire and police from the Fairview Fire District, Roosevelt Fire District, Arlington Fire District, from the Dutchess County Sheriff's, from the County Medical Examiner's Office, Marist College, senior staff at Marist College, the senior administrative staff and security staff at Marist College have been a great assistance to us. So let me begin by just giving a general outline of what happened to the best of our knowledge at this point in the day, and then we'll try to fill in the blanks and get this story moving for you. Okay? Our police department responded to a 911 call of reported working structure fire at 112 Fairview Avenue at approximately 1:33 this morning. I'm going to give the details of the fire response to the fire chief in the Fairview District, Fire Chief Chris Mader.
My name's Chris Mader, Chief of Fairview Fire. My last name is spelled M-A-E-D-E-R. We received the same call of a reported structure fire with multiple calls of reported working fire. We responded and we were on the scene within about 4 minutes of the time of dispatch. Upon our arrival, we found a well-involved 2.5-story wood frame structure with an exposure issue to the left side of the structure, an exposure issue being the house next to it being almost involved in fire. We immediately called upon arrival a second alarm of fire, which brought us mutual aid resources from multiple fire departments assisting under mutual aid, as Chief Morrow said, Roosevelt Fire District, we had Hyde Park Fire District, City of Poughkeepsie Fire Department, Arlington Fire Department, Dutchess County Department of Emergency Response assisted, Mobile Life Support Services, Town of Poughkeepsie Police and Building Departments were at the scene, New York State Office of Fire Prevention and Control, and the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office all assisted at the scene. Upon arrival of the incident, first arriving units did try to make an interior attack at the building. They were forced back by heat and flames due to the overwhelming involvement of the structure, and they had to back out. So that's pretty much what we have. We were able to get the fire under control within about 90 minutes of first arriving on the scene.
Thanks, Chief.
Thank you, sir.
And obviously, we'll address your questions as we proceed. And at the conclusion of our comments, we'd like to introduce some of the representatives that are gathered here, and obviously the media is free to speak to whoever they choose. To the best of our knowledge, as we understand it at this point of the investigation, early this evening, there was a small gathering of college students at an off-campus, privately rented housing. To clarify for the press, this rental home is not Marist housing. It's not owned, maintained by Marist College. It's privately owned and leased. The home is leased, rented for the school year by 6 Marist College students, all female. This evening, several of those students had guests at the house. So at the conclusion of their social gathering, there were 2 residents, female, Marist College students, and their male guests. In addition to those 4, there were 2 additional residents in the house, female. Total of 6, and there was an additional male friend who had come to the house to visit and was apparently staying over. 7. Now, of the 6 residents, females that own the house, 2 elected after the social gathering to leave for the evening and went to another location. Okay? We have interviewed 4 surviving victims of this fire. 2 are residents of the house, renting the home, and 2 are their guests, their male friends or boyfriends. What they describe is that they went to bed somewhere around 12 or 12:30 in the morning, and that there was no issue that they were aware of in the house. They went to bed. We know that sometime before the actual fire is discovered by a passerby in residence, at around 1:30 in the morning, some hour or possibly hour and a half, depending on the timeline, the 2 male guests of the 2 female marist students awoken to, they can't be specific about what made them wake up. One resident and her guest were upstairs. 1 resident and her guest were downstairs. 2 other marist students were in their individual rooms, and an additional guest, we believe, was in the living room area when they went to bed. The 2 male guests staying in the bedrooms were awakened, and we at this point in the investigation cannot indicate clearly to you what woke them up. One resident went into the hallway on the 2nd floor. It's the second floor was charged. Second floor was hot, or was it the first floor? I'm next. Paul? Downstairs? Downstairs was hot. 2nd floor was hot? The guest upstairs awakens, 2nd floor, goes to touch the doorknob. The doorknob's hot. He can't open the door. And they elect to self-evacuate or get out of the house by jumping out of a 2nd-story window. They realize that the house is fully involved in flame and smoke. Downstairs, another female student, married student, and her guest evacuate out of a 1st-floor window. That left 4 people outside, 3 people in the home. We're indicating to you now that there are 3 fatalities in this structure fire. 2 female marist students and 1 male guest. I can't go into too much description of the investigation as to their physical condition or exact location. Suffice it to say that we found 1 victim upstairs, 1 victim downstairs, and the 3rd victim was found in considerable collapsed debris, and it's still under investigation as to what that person's position was in the house. We're still working in detail. So the 4 survivors were transported to St. Francis Hospital, where they were fortunately treated and released. They suffered no significant injuries or burns. They were treated for minor smoke inhalation, minor injuries, and they were able to give us a debrief during their interviews of what they believe happened up to the point of the fire and how they evacuated the house. For the better part of the morning and the day, we have been attempting to identify exactly who were the 3 victims and to make notifications to their families. So as that process continued, there was a fire investigation that occurred jointly with members from the Dutchess County Bureau of Fire, Town of Poughkeepsie Police Detectives, and that investigation, we would have the fire officials comment on their findings thus far. As that investigation was ongoing and the interviews concluded, we had to take steps to notify family members, and that process is still going on now as we speak. And not all the family members have been notified, so therefore we're not able to release the names of the victims. 2 of the victims are female in their early 20s, Marist College students. Both were renting the house, and 1 victim is male, a guest, and he is, we believe, from Connecticut, but has been staying and possibly going to school in the local area. That's still under investigation. Let me introduce John Gilgard, who's the Director of Safety and Security for Marist College, and if you'd like to just make a brief statement.
Thank you, Tom.
Could you spell your last name, please?
Gildard. First of all, I'd like to say that we mourn the loss of any life in the community, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the members of the family. Marist College is committed to support the investigation of the Town of Poughkeepsie Police, and that's really all